sound. Devo Jones with the pick six, Keanu Neal with the hard hit, getting the ball back on offense. Watch Julio Jones keep moving the sticks. Calvin really in for the score. We came back, we up 4, about to get in. Our victory stats, no coming back. We closing the door. A-T-L blackout. A-T-L blackout.
What's going on, football fans? It's me, J.R. Clark, back once again with another rendition of the Coaches Show. This time we're going to be going in a little bit of a different direction. Well, you know what? It's not really that much of a different direction. But I'm pulling from a guy who hasn't necessarily been a head coach yet at any level, which I don't think I've done so far. Even if it was Pep Hamilton in the XFL, at least he was a head coach there. But this guy, as far as I know, all my research tells me that he hasn't been a head coach anywhere, and this is his first full year as an OC. Up to this point, he has been a co-offensive coordinator. So this year he has fully had the title of OC. But if you're clamoring for the Falcons to take a new quarterback in this upcoming draft, then this guy might intrigue you, especially if you're wanting to reach for the sky, so to speak. Currently, as I'm recording this video, we're sitting at the 4th overall pick, with, I think, the potential to get up to the 3rd overall pick. So if you have dreams of jumping all the way up to number 1 and snagging a Trevor Lawrence, then my guy here might just be the guy for you. And I'm speaking to none other than Clemson's offensive coordinator, Tony Elliott. Now, as I've been doing, my research, doing these coaching shows, I've been casting my proverbial coach's net far and wide for you guys. All the way up from the CFL to, as I alluded to earlier, former XFL head coach and Pep Hamilton. So I've casted my net as far as I can. Now, doing these profiles doesn't necessarily mean this is the guy that I'm endorsing for the position or anything like that. I'm just trying to get y'all to think outside of the box is the whole point of this series. And I've really enjoyed doing it. But as the season is coming to a close, we're really going to start hearing rumors pop up. And if it's guys that I haven't talked about, then I may do a video on it. But this week I decided to, because of all the hype and love that Trevor Lawrence gets, I wanted to look at the guy behind Trevor Lawrence, I guess you could say. The guy calling the plays, the guys, putting it into action. And Tony Elliott caught my attention because, like I said, I'll pull up his history for y'all here. He's the offensive coordinator and the running backs coach for Clemson. He played wide receiver for Clemson. He coached at, as you can see there, South Carolina State, Furman, and then in 2011 he came back to Clemson to coach the running backs, which he has been involved with the whole time he's there, which I enjoy because what I'm really looking for in the coach that we hire, whether it's a guy like a Tony Elliott or whoever, I'm really looking for a guy who can come in and get this run game going, because whether we swing for the fences and draft a guy like a Trevor Lawrence or what have you, if we stick with Matt Ryan for a few more years, what will benefit that is a run game. And what will benefit, even if we swing for the fences and get a QB in the first round, what will benefit that is a run game. And so the thing that caught my eye with Tony Elliott is that he has been a run game coach and a running backs coach and a run game coordinator for the Clemson Tigers since 2011. And they have produced a handful of really good running backs. Andre Ellington, Wayne Gallman was a good running back in college. He hasn't necessarily produced much in the NFL, other than he's been a serviceable back in the NFL. And then right now you have Travis Etienne. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some run game numbers right there, and you can see as it stands right now, Etienne is getting close to 1,000 yards. I know he rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, getting 5.6 yards a carry, 13 touchdowns. I mean, these are good numbers, and you can see what he's done with the runs also with Trevor Lawrence. So this year, he finally got to be the full-on offensive coordinator for Clemson Tigers. And they have played really well and put up really good numbers. Let's see, I'll show you the QBs there. Trevor Lawrence is getting close to 3,000 yards, maybe at 3,000 yards before the the college season completely wraps up, the playoffs and everything else. 22 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. What I really like is a 69.2% completion rating. And then the thing that was really intriguing to me is you can see the number 2 guy there, DJ Ugula. Y'all know how good I am with names. The few games that he stepped in for Trevor Lawrence when Trevor Lawrence was, I believe, on the COVID list and missed a few games, he almost threw for 1,000 yards. So, now granted, this is, college, obviously, and it's Clemson that has, they're right there up with Alabama as far as having the best talent. And so you can argue that they should be putting up numbers like that. But what I am looking at is that this man come in, took over. I believe the other co-offensive coordinator, I can't remember his name right at this moment, left to go take a head coaching job. And Tony Elliott stepped in, took over, and they haven't missed a beat. And that is the part that is very encouraging to me. Now, this could be like a reach, as I was saying before, because he hasn't been a head coach. This is his first full season as an offensive coordinator. It's already been rumored that he's getting tabbed as a potential offensive coordinator for some of these the NFL carousel, coaching carousel that's starting up. He's been tabbed to be the OC for Wink Martindale if he gets a head coaching job. But I don't know if he's necessarily going to want to transition from the college ranks to the NFL ranks to have the same position, right? Unless it's a pay raise, but as we don't know exactly how much coordinators make, that number isn't necessarily public knowledge. I know he's making about $1.6 million in the college ranks, as Clemson historically has the higher paid assistants. So unless an NFL team was willing to come off some money for him, I'm not sure you're going to pry him out of the college ranks just to take the same position. But if you get in early, get in on the ground floor, so to speak, and get this guy and offer him a head coaching job, take a look at what Arizona did with Cliff Kingsbury. He was on his way to go be the offensive coordinator of USC before they, offered the Arizona head coaching gig for him. Now he's made the transition decent with Kyler Murray. They've had their ups and downs. His offense hasn't necessarily translated, but he also runs more of an air raid offense. But needless to say, if you feel like you're going to be drafting a kid out of college in the next year or two, or even this offseason, bringing in a coach, as I've stated before with some of the other guys, bringing in a coach that has dealt with the college ranks and is used to dealing with college kids may not necessarily be a bad idea, especially if you feel like you might, like I said, reach for the sky and get a Trevor Lawrence. If you feel like you're going to secure a Trevor Lawrence, having his OC as the head coach who already knows a lot about him may not necessarily be a bad thing. But the part, like I said before, the part that intrigues me most about Tony Elliott is his success in the run game and establishing the run and the products that he has put out on the field as far as running backs are concerned. I feel like that would be a boon in the personnel department. I know you don't necessarily hire a head coach for personnel type stuff, but maybe you make an exception with this guy. So that's what I got for you this week. Check out Tony Elliott if you're not familiar with Clemson's offense. I don't see how you couldn't be, but if you're not, go check out some of the games and see what you think. As always, you can put your suggestions down below. Our season is coming to a close, so I expect the rumors to start ramping up hot and heavy, and hopefully we'll have a new head coach soon. But as always, y'all can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Grimm1128, GRIMM1128, and check us out live streaming on Tuesdays. Me and the guys, they've been starting up their draft stuff on Fridays, and yeah, so that's about it. Appreciate your time, and as always, Falcons fans, rise up.
Julio Jones with the pick six, Keanu Neal with the hard hit, getting the ball back on offense. Watch Julio Jones keep moving the sticks. Calvin really in for the score. We came back, we up four, about to get in. Our victory stance, no coming back. We closing the door. A-T-L, blackout. A